Yo, what's going on, y'all? What's going on? Man, it seemed like it's a funeral over here, man, with the Dallas Cowboys. A lot of people is not happy in regards to the hiring of Brian Schottenheimer. I don't really know what to think, but we're going to use this broadcast to try to piece this together and make some sense. If it does make sense, and something tells me that it ain't gonna make sense. There's been there's been man, give me a second real quick. Hold up. All right, there we go. There we go. All right. Corey, what's going on? Man, I seen it. And I ain't know what to think, y'all. I was like, man, let me sleep on it. Let me sleep on it and look up some things and see, because at the end of the day, it's unknown. Loke said he figured it out. Oh, what's happening, man? What you think, Loke? What you think, Loke? Because you know, I would say for Dak Prescott will probably be will probably be up there in regards to the reasonings. I seen that Dak Prescott endorsed him, so therefore I know there's not no real coaching, really. You know what I mean? In regards to being in that capacity. Because, like I said, if these players in today's time, especially on this team, like a coach, then I think there's something wrong with that coach. Because if there was some real coaching being done, to be honest with you, these players really shouldn't be liking them. They should appreciate them and rock with them later on. But when I hear let's just like you hear like these like the players wanted Mike McCarthy back. We all know that Mike McCarthy needed to go. And now, I hear an endorsement for Brian Schottenheimer. And I'm like, ooh. Jerry and Steven has the babysitter too. We on the same page then, Lo. We on the same page. We on the same page as usual, Lo. Yeah, man, they made that mistake of paying that boy instead of moving on. This year, we will have a new coach. We will have a new quarterback. But no, only thing we got is recycled coaching and the same old quarterback. But that's some good reasoning though, Lo. Hold up, I'm on the laptop. Let me put that up. So, Brian Schottenheimer, Marty Schottenheimer's son. Now, you would think, right, coming from a coach like Marty Schottenheimer, that this coach, Dallas Cowboy Nation might got something, right? Like, and when you look at his history, right? Let me see. Let me go off the top of the dome piece. Seattle, the Jets. I think he was QB coach with the Chargers. I know he called some plays for the Jets. I know he called plays for the Seahawks. I definitely remember that from the back of my head and how it went, and we're gonna talk about that a little bit. I don't know what he was with us, a consultant, or they claim he was an OC. And even though he wouldn't call him plays, I know that he has some responsibility in regards to, you know, the final product on the field, even though Mike McCarthy was calling the plays. So let's just not, you know what I mean? We ain't gonna act like, Schottenheimer ain't had his hand in it. I heard a little rumor, I don't know if it's true, talking about Schottenheimer. He was a proponent for change in regards to the scheme with Mike McCarthy. So I guess there was some heads being buttoned. I don't know how true that really is. Uh, when I look at when I look at how Seattle was ran by him, and I look at how the Dallas Cowboys were ran by him, especially with Cooper Rush, from my memory and watching a lot of Seattle games back then, this is when I was tuned into football. I see similarities. I do. The running back was Chris Carson. I remember him. I know Marty. He especially when he had Chris Carson, he ran the hell out that ball. He ran the ball. He had Metcalf. He had Lockett. I want to say at times he tried to set up the play action, if I'm not mistaken. But I know that there was a little bit more emphasis on the run game. Now, I can tell you though, I don't know how this is going to look, but what I can tell you is that emphasis on the run game in today's time, and if they can go ahead and be dominant, that's automatic playoffs. If you can get a successful run game like the Baltimore Ravens had, right? When you start looking at some of these top running teams, right? Philadelphia Eagles, right? Not saying that, it'll be to the mount, but their run game has took them right to where they were at. Like their run game has taken the Eagles to the NFC Championship. In today's time, right, it ain't nothing but soft ass, weak ass players. You know, can't fight through no adversity, ain't being coached, ain't tough. So, especially like I would tell you that the Eagles is the favorites to beat the Commanders at this point in time, and how they're built and what they're about. I would tell you that they're favorites to beat the Commanders in regards to that. Now, anything can happen, especially since it's their third time seeing each other, right? So you know how the division go, but I would favor the Eagles in this matchup. Just like I told you, like if it snows, I would favor the Eagles over the Rams. Now, if the Rams was playing in ideal circumstances, like they probably would have beat the Eagles. But you got to be ready for cold weather football. And so if Brian Schottenheimer was to bring, I want to say, very good, if not close to elite running back, and build upon being a physical team and trying to protect Dak Prescott like the Philadelphia Eagles do, then I would tell you that can at least equate to playoffs, right? Not that's but that's factoring in one, do they bring more weapons in on the perimeter? Do they fix his defense? Does Dak Prescott actually manage the game, right? And even with that being the case, your quarterback in the playoffs is still going to have to make plays. And Dak Prescott has shown time and time again that he can't do that. So no matter if we're able to fuel a running game to be able to take this team to the playoffs, and that's wishing on a star. I'm not saying that I'm guaranteed. That's wishing upon a star because we also have an incompetent GM. But I'm just saying off the basis, if this is what Schottenheimer wants to do, which I've seen him do with Chris Carson, I can say that offense can get you to the playoffs. Now, I know a lot of people in today's time want these fancy ass motion and fancy ass formation and all this stuff, right? Now, in my time and looking at Schottenheimer and the time that Schottenheimer at least had, a little something over the offense with the Dallas Cowboys, I seen none of that. You know, uh, to be honest with you, other than probably opening the offense a little bit more, I would see the same similarities with the Mike McCarthy offense as it will be with the Brian Schottenheimer offense, right? You'll probably get a little bit more play action. Maybe he can get Dak Prescott on some boots, right? Maybe he can get Dak Prescott to throw for 200 yards a game and less than 35 attempts a game, right? Consistently, which is a recipe for success. But that's coming that if you got you a dominant front seven. The Dallas Cowboys have a lot of needs, and I don't think that they can fix this team in 1 year. Nor do I think they have the GM to be able to fix this team in 5 years. Nor do I even believe that they have the quarterback to be able to even take them to the NFC Championship, right? It's just like Lamar, right? Lamar Jackson is a very good quarterback in regards to, his athleticism, his ability to make plays. But in the playoffs, it comes a point in time where it's time for your playmaker to actually be a real quarterback. And that's where Lamar Jackson struggles, which equates to him he's never gonna get over the hump. Unless Burrow and Mahomes is out the playoffs and probably Allen, he's never gonna get over the hump because he doesn't have the tools as a quarterback to be able to do it. He has the ability to always take his teams to the playoffs, but to get over that hump, he don't got it. The Dallas Cowboys have been trying to get over this hump for about 30 years. And it ain't gonna happen with Dak Prescott. Now, when I look at Schottenheimer, right? I look at why have you spent 20 something years as an assistant coach? Why haven't you been taken into consideration for a head coaching gig? Right? Let's look at this from a couple ways. He was at Georgia, Jets, Chargers, Seahawks, Cowboys. I may be missing a team, but that's off my memory of what I'm aware of him being. Why hasn't he been in consideration for a college head coach? Especially with all these coaches that haven't been deserving. Why is they picking them over him? I seen a I seen some people in the Dallas media saying, "Oh, we're going to like him because he could command the room and he's a good speaker and good communicator." Man, that shit don't win games, my G. There's a whole bunch of good speakers and communicators out there right now that can't win shit. I need somebody that's good at X's and O's. I need somebody that can adjust. I need somebody that can get the most out of the players and put the players in positions to succeed. And I'm not too sure, and I'm not sure at all if Schottenheimer can get the job done when I look at his resume. Now you could say, like I said, he come from Marty, and Marty, probably helped and try to groom him as a head coach. He does have a lot of experience, right? And I will say this: I would have chose him over Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn. Aaron Glenn is new to this, not true to this. And when I look at some of his schemes, they're not the business. And when I look at some of his alignments, I didn't like it. When I look at Ben Johnson, right? I look at how you conducted yourself in the biggest moment and what you called, and I didn't like it. I didn't like it. You see, it's cute, it's cool to be running them trick plays and all the time, but sometimes you guys go ahead and just get straight to the nitty-gritty of things and keep things simple because a lot is at stake. So some of the things that you could probably get away with in a season, you can't get away with it in the biggest moment, in the biggest game. And his plan during that game for his quarterback and for that offense, I didn't like it. That reflects on coaching. You heard the saying is Jimmy's and Joe's, not X's and O's. And that's true. Jimmy's and Joe's can win, you can take you to the playoffs. It ain't no coaching. You don't really have to have no hellified coaching to get a team to the playoffs, right? We've seen we've seen with the Dallas Cowboys when Scott Linehan was coaching about Jimmy's and Joe's, right? Y'all remember how we was talking about? Well, I don't think I was on. I wasn't on YouTube then, but it was a talk about the play calling in Linehan. But as you can see, it was Jimmy's and Joe's that got you to that point. And the X's and O's part of the things is the one that's going to get you over the hump. Mike McCarthy couldn't do it. He couldn't discipline his team. Schottenheimer, man, I guess I got to look at the staff that he put around him. I see that he was I don't know if it's official yet, but I see that Eberflus is in consideration. Now, in regards to that, when we talk about, I know Rob Marinelli had a lot of influence on him, right? And when you look at some of the things that the Bears was doing, you could look at a little bit of that influence. I don't know what he's going to do here. I don't. When I look at it, what is he? Will he? I don't know. Like, I would have to really go back in the film and really look and pay attention, like, and really study like what he could actually bring. But if I'm looking at some of the things that Marinelli did, right? Marinelli gonna rush 4, and he gonna drop back in coverage. We gonna run some 2. Is that what he gonna do with this? We don't have the players for that. Is you gonna bring Dexter over here, the D tackle for the Bears? You gonna bring him over here? Is you gonna bring Sweat over here? Is you gonna bring Jalen Johnson over here? Because this team needs a lot. You got Diggs, who's gonna miss a lot of the season. You got Overshown, who's gonna miss a lot of the season. Like, who? Look what you rolling with. You got Lewis, who, if I were him, I wouldn't come back. This team needs a lot, and in the way that they spend in free agency, they are not going to be able to achieve all of that in a draft and hit all of that in the draft. They're not. Look how they did with this draft. How could you rely on Jerry Stephen and Will McClay? Look what they did with this draft. This draft was not good. Look what they did with that first round pick a couple years ago. That's not good. They have been making poor decisions. So something that you hang your hat in and going cheap and going young, you got to hit. And they haven't been hitting. And they're not supplemented with good trades. They're not supplementing it with good free agency. You're going to have to spend. See, what Jerry need to realize is that in free agency, who I would look for, I would spend a little bit of money on some leadership, some players who actually play football the right way. It's worth it. Is this coach going to enforce discipline? Does he have the ability to adjust? I don't care about your motivational speaker. You a motivational speaker, or you can so-called command the room. Can you coach? Can you coach? Now they gonna say what? I looked at some little bit of statistics before that he had a top 10 offense. I believe it was in points about 3 or 4 times out of a 12-year offensive coordinator career. And I think it was a couple times in regards to yardage in his 12 seasons as an offensive coordinator, Derek Harmon, Oregon D tackle. Nah, I haven't checked him out yet. Nuh-uh. I actually was gonna start. Well, damn. Uh, maybe I should, because I haven't even started yet. I ain't gonna lie, I haven't even started yet. I was actually gonna start this weekend. Shoot, the Cowboys need so much. I'm trying to figure out who should I start with, but you know, like, cause I'm looking at some of the things with it, cause I've been waiting, cause I've been thrown off a little bit in regards to who's declaring and who's not. So I was kind of waiting for that declaring, but like I could probably do the people that I know is gonna be in there and just work my way around it. But yeah, because I know I need to start on that thing soon. I want to be as thorough as I can this year because this is important. I think we're gonna have a lot of fun this year. But when I see people talking about Abdul Carter as the number one prospect in the draft, this ain't a good draft. But yeah, but I'm getting to work. I'm gonna get to work though. I'm gonna get to work. But teed up. But man, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to. I don't know. It's good that he got. It's good that he had the experience and been in different teams, and that's good, right? Like I said, I believe he's more qualified than Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn. I honestly didn't really want them to, but I don't know what to expect, y'all. Y'all got every right to not like it. And when you look at the circumstances of how he got hired and what they was looking for, and I seen a little thing talking about they really originally wanted Vrabel. Part of this tells me that didn't nobody want to coach with them. Didn't nobody want the Dallas Cowboys job. They can These people could tell you about how attractive it is to coach with the Dallas Cowboys all they want to. But the demand for it, for them wanting to volunteer for it, I don't see that. I don't see that. Because in regards to how the Joneses work and what they're doing, it's clear as day to the people on how they run their organization and what real coach want to be a part of that. Of course, Brian Schottenheimer would say, yes, he's been wanting this moment all his career. He's always wanted this. And you're going to hear an endorsement for Dak Prescott, which tells me that shit, they're not serious. To me, this is not a serious move. Vrabel, if you really wanted him, you should have put that money up. But Jerry wasn't gonna do that. And you give him 4 years? How the hell do you give Schottenheimer 4 years? 4 years to do what? Let's call a spade a spade. This is all Stephen Jones. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Dak Dak friendly offense. Dak has a good relationship. This is all on four. And it's yeah. Cause I was getting alerts, man. I believe it was this morning talking about how Ford endorsed him and he rocking with it. And Stephen Jones and the others wanted to go Brian Schottenheimer, but Jerry wanted to go the other way. Jerry should have went the other way. Me personally, like I said, if you're really serious about it, then you need to go ahead and spend some resources to improve this team and y'all, and I'm on record on saying this, right? I said that whoever they hired to coach, whoever coach that they hired was going to be the determining factor on the direction of this team. I mean, I don't really see good things happening for this team. This hire don't move me. Like I said, there is an unknown factor of it because we've never seen him as a head coach. And is he a better head coach than the OC? I don't know. You know, I don't know. I would hope so. Because if what I've seen of him as an OC, I'm not thrilled. I'm not elated with this. And I don't see anything being a positive coming from this. If what he's done as an OC is going to be anything in comparison to what he is as a head coach. See, I want somebody that detail oriented, there's X's and O's, and it could be that so-called teacher. I want a teacher, man. Is Schottenheimer a teacher? I don't know. I've listened to him in regards to, that Tuesday when they dropped the assistant coaches, the coordinators in regards to how they rocking with things. He didn't move me. He didn't move me. Who are you going to hire? And then I hear that and then I hear this first year head coach is going to take on the role of calling plays. I don't like that. I don't. You need to focus on coaching, head coaching. I don't like that. I'd rather you bring a coordinator in and you bring a D coordinator in and you focus strictly on being a head coach. So if that's the route that he's going to take and being a coordinator, I don't like it. I don't like it. And when I see your work, you want to talk about outdated. When people tell me about Mike McCarthy being outdated, you want to talk about a scheme that's outdated. You might want to look at Brian Schottenheimer's scheme if you want to talk about something being outdated. I remember watching him. Now I know there was a time, I believe it was the last year he was there. He was dealing with injuries, and I think Carson had that neck injury, I think. His last year, if I'm not mistaken, Carson was pretty banged up. He was an injury-prone running back. And then I think that's when he had like DJ Dallas, right? They were running the football. But the Dallas Cowboys this year was running the football. And look where that got them. You think Dak Prescott was going to be a deciding factor in us beating a couple of these other teams? No. I can make an argument that if Dak Prescott was at quarterback, that we wouldn't have won the amount of games that we won this year. So how is this team going to look? It's not because your core with this new head coach, it's not it. What, you're going to have some continuity? Is this for Trey? See, if this was for Trey Lance, okay, maybe. But this is for Dak Prescott, man. And I know it. And I don't really see in Trey, at this point in time, I don't really see how they're going to roll with Trey Lance for the future. If they're making this move for Dak Prescott, I don't see how they rocking with Trey Lance for the future. So that tells me, right, even if you believe that Dak Prescott is your so-called franchise quarterback, you still got to go get one. Because the ideal situation is what Penix was in, making him sit down, but except not having him come. If you're going to roll with Dak Prescott as your quarterback, you need to find you a quarterback that can sit down and look at what to do and what not to do. Sit them down for about a good year, maybe two, and let them go. Now, you can pretty much go off the rip that a quarterback like Shador or Cam Ward, they ain't coming here. They're not going to sit behind Dak. These quarterbacks don't want to sit. I seen something talking about, oh, they want Arch Manning. I mean, I could see that, but that'd be interesting. But who knows, right? We're not worried about that. That's another year from now. And with Peyton and them as their kinfolk could be too. Y'all got every reason to be upset with this hiring for sure. I'm not at a loss for words right now. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. I'm at a loss for words. I'm like, damn, Schottenheimer though. Jerry get ready. Jerry is Jerry even gonna be able to live to see the end of this contract? I'll be honest with you. Even though Jerry been on some bullshit, I'd rather have Jerry than Stephen Jones. Stephen Jones ain't gonna do nothing but mess this up, and don't nobody like. I can look at don't nobody like Stephen Jones, man. Who likes Stephen Jones? Don't nobody like Stephen Jones. He's gonna run away to business. He's gonna run away connections. I can see it now. Let that boy get on her. He is not about to. Some of the relationships that Jerry Jones has established, he's gonna lose that. When they're not gonna give him a favor because he Jerry. They don't like him. I know they don't like him. He's not a likable individual. Look at him. Why would I do? Would y'all rock with somebody like that? Would you? No. Look at the dumbass decisions that he's making now. Probably the only smart decision that I ever heard of him being a part of was choosing Zach Martin over Johnny Manziel. That's it. When you look at all the other moves that Stephen Jones has been a part of, has been trash. Stephen Jones is going to do to the Cowboys. Ooh, man. Like little, oof. Damn. Edward says Archie Manning grandfather would never have his grandson go to Dallas Cowboys. Are a mess. I can see it. Yeah, you might got a point. Yeah, you might got a point there. You might got a point. Yeah, you might got a good point there. You know, who knows? But I could, yeah, I can see where you at though. I can see where you at though. Who gonna quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys? Because that can is that gonna finish out his contract? The way he been going, I don't think so. Then what? What's your plan? Is your plan for Trey Lance to take over? Probably not. Not the way they're moving. Then what's your plan? They don't have one, y'all. That's the messed up thing about this whole situation. The Joneses don't have a plan. The Joneses don't know what to do. The Joneses is relying like the Joneses is relying on other opinions. The Joneses is relying on incompetent people too. So if the Joneses don't know what to do, somebody said that they lost their way. Where did they even have their way at? Where did they have their way at? For Jerry not to have won nothing in 30 years, that is pathetic. You ain't been to no NFC championship in 30 years? See, that's see. Jerry Jones, for what I've seen and evaluated from him over the course of the years, Jerry Jones see the Dallas Cowboys as a moneymaker for his family and a moneymaker for him. And he just do the bare minimum to get it done. Because any real owner that desires to win will go after somebody that can help them do such. If I was Jerry Jones and I'm an owner and I had the results that he had, I would have I would have brought a GM in a long time ago. A long time ago. A long time ago. The only way the Cowboys can get better if Jerry Delusional Jones sells the team, but it won't happen. His son, Stephen Jones, will inherit the team and nothing will change. Stephen Jones is like his dad. Mm. This is crazy, y'all. This is crazy. They really sit over there and brought in Brian Schottenheimer. And it probably was a move that he knew he wouldn't lose all of the fans because you're gonna have some fans who know what's up, and you're gonna have some fans that gonna give him the benefit of the doubt because of the unknown, because he's never been in this predicament before. So they're gonna try to reason with y'all the whole year, right? These content creators, the media, right? They're gonna try to reason with y'all the whole year to get y'all to go ahead and buy in to give Brian Schottenheimer a chance. No, Brian Schottenheimer needs to earn me giving him a chance, to be honest with you. Right? Because it's very concerning for you not to get. So you've been going lateral your whole career. You never went up. Everybody goes up. Everybody's want to go up. And your up was to get a head coaching job, and you've never been in consideration for that. And you've been in a few over a handful of organizations, and nobody has ever considered you to be a head coach. Why is this? Right? You've heard you Antonio Pierce was a head coach before you. You looking at all these other young cats, man. The Shanahan's and had a whole tree, and then them been a head coach before you. You've been coaching for what 30, almost 30 years, and you have never been in consideration for a head coaching job. Why is that? Why is that? That's the concerning part. You've never what? Has he ever been an interim head coach? You was a, and if you was some hellified offensive coordinator, I mean, I know Mike McCarthy probably got his pride though, but if Mike McCarthy seen that he had some hellified offensive coordinator, you telling me that he wouldn't give him the play calling sheet and he was worried about being a head coach? If I had, if I'm Mike McCarthy, if I'm Mike McCarthy, and I believe that Schottenheimer is a better offensive coordinator than me. Even in my last year, I'm going to give him the job. If I see him trying to go ahead and sell me out so he can get the job, I'll take over it. But last year, should have had it. This should be his second year. We should know. He's a consultant. So he went from a consultant to a fake OC to a head coach. That's how you were supposed to climb up the ranks a long time ago. To be a consultant to a fake ass offensive coordinator to head coach. See how long that took? Took him like what? 3 years? This is third year? That's how you're supposed to do it. That's how you're supposed to do it. That's very concerning, man. Nobody thought you can do the job. Nobody believed in you. You are Brian Schottenheimer's son. Nepotism? How does he continue to get job after job? Nobody believe in you to be an HC? Nobody. That's interesting. Not even an interview, not even a final candidate. You come down to Brian Schottenheimer and such. Nobody? And then I'm supposed to accept that he could potentially change the dynamic and the culture of America's team? And he can't even change the culture of other teams that he has been an offensive coordinator for? He's just a more experienced, a more vanilla Ben Johnson, damn near. Ben Johnson is an ace. Aaron Glenn is a head coach the same year. And they ain't even put the amount of years that you put in. What is going on there? What is going on? It's something going on with him. I don't care what Eric Mangini says. I don't care what anybody else says. I don't care. Show me what makes you a head coach material. Just like they thought, oh man, we're gonna miss Al Harris. What? The same Al Harris that was coaching Trayvon Diggs? That's doing his own way? What kind of coaching Al Harris was doing? See, Jordan Lewis was already that type of player, so it wasn't off of Al Harris's coaching. Stop it. He was already doing. He was already competing. Soon as he been here, he's already competing. Bland, the same one out stay getting cooked in the red zone. You don't see nobody pressing like Al Harris did. You would think that would be something that the Dallas Cowboys that he would want to implement for these corners to be physical. You don't see it. You don't see these corners getting none of these wide receivers off track, and I'm supposed to expect that we're missing out on some head coach. Stop. You know, there, like I said, there's an unknown factor to this. But when you start piecing everything together in regards to what he has done, what he has produced, where he has been until now, and what he has done for this organization, it doesn't give you anything to be like, oh, okay, this is a solid move. It doesn't. Like I said, I don't care if he, in these first couple years, get the Dallas Cowboys to the playoffs. I don't mean nothing. Jason Garrett got us to the playoffs. Mike McCarthy has gotten to the playoffs. It don't matter. Who gonna get you over the hump? So he just pretty much all I see is Brian Schottenheimer is like a placeholder. He's a placeholder head coach. You didn't get what you wanted, and now you lost out. Now you just settle for Brian Schottenheimer. That's how I see it. I don't know if you guys see it like that. That's how I see it. They settled for Brian Schottenheimer. He wasn't a choice. Like you mean to tell me, y'all, right? That if I got this head coaching waiting, some hellified head coach, that they wouldn't even they would just have to satisfy the Rooney rule and they would have hired him as a head coach last week. Last week. But they didn't. You had they had what? They had interest in Vrabel, so they say what? Salah, Leslie Frazier. They interviewed. They claim that they called Pete Carroll informally. Dion, a little conversation. I know I'm missing like one or two. It's crazy. Appreciate that, Dallas fan. This all go back to Dak, bro. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Appreciate that. Appreciate that 199. Yep. We all see it. We all know it. That was one of the first things we talked about. Is this got to be for Dak? Why the hell are we hiring a head coach for Dak Prescott? Dak Prescott has had many offensive coordinators, a few different head coaches, and has produced the same thing. Nah, you all good. You all good. Uh, what what makes them think that Brian Schottenheimer is going to be the icing on the cake? He has proven that he ain't gonna do nothing. They think they looking at I know they are. They looking at what Kellen Moore doing. Look, tell me if you don't see tell me if you don't see a little bit of alignment here. They're seeing what Kellen Moore doing here, right? They seeing what Kellen Moore doing. Oh, damn. Okay, look. They got a front seven. Boom. They running the ball, got a physical offensive line. They think that Dak Prescott better than Jalen Hurts, even though Jalen Hurts has went to 2 NFC championships. 2. That man has went to 2. Cowboy Nation, are you hearing me? Are you hearing me right now? He has went to 2 Cowboy Nation. He had Jaden Daniels has won the same amount of playoff games as your quarterback who's been in the league for 10 years. In his first year. What a lesser team. Cowboy Nation, is you listening to me right now? That's crazy. They see Kellen Moore, he running the ball, Saquon. They think that I wouldn't be surprised if, Genty was on their list. They thinking that, okay, we like how we ran the ball with Rico. If we get a better if we go get maybe a wide receiver and a running back, we can do what the Eagles did. Oh, you can't. Oh, you can't. No, you can't. Yep, 60 mil. Nah, you seeing it right, Dallas fan. You seeing it right. You seeing it right. You seeing it right. You gonna we gonna have the people in the media Dallas that do media for the Dallas Cowboys trying to convince you otherwise. Right? That's what you see. Who was it that said that? Was it RJ or Shan Sharif or whatever his name is? That trying to talk about the Dallas Cowboy. Just wait till you hear him talk. Man, I don't give a what he got to say. What kind of coach is you gonna be? Shit, Kelly. Hey, since Kellen Moore been gone, right? Because the last time this running game has even been worth a damn was what? When Kellen Moore was here. Now, I wouldn't want him as my head coach. That's for a damn show. But he was a better offensive coordinator than Mike McCarthy, and that's facts. Just by him committing to the run game, right? See, like when it comes down to coaching, you gotta adjust to what you got. And they like, shit, I got Saquon Barkley. Why not give him the ball 30 times? That is good coaching to me. That's good coaching. Shit, man. I know I got AJ Brown. AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, and Dallas Goedert keeps the defense honest. Because if they didn't have them, they wouldn't be able to have the success that they have running the football. And vice versa. So they're like, okay, you're just decoys until we have to absolutely throw you the rock. That's good coaching to me. Sometimes less coaching is the best coaching. If I gotta, like I told y'all, man, early in the year, if I gotta keep doing this hellified scheming to get functional offense, then there's something wrong with what I got. I need players who can win one-on-one. The Philadelphia Eagles have players that can win one-on-one. In the trenches, they're running back versus a linebacker, at wide receiver, tight end. And then you have to have another body keep an eye out on the legs of Jalen Hurts. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I guess we ain't got no choice, right? 4 years, he at least gonna be here for 2 years unless he stinks it up his first year so bad that they gotta fire him. But we probably gonna have at least 2 years of this man, right? So we gonna see. Off the rip, right? Somebody that's familiar with the organization, that has been in the organization and know the organization's strengths and weaknesses. There shouldn't be no, oh, I need a time to get this done. No, you know what you got. You know what you need. You know how this team operates. I expect for you to hit the ground running. I'm not giving him no 10 games, 12 games, a season to figure this shit out. No, I'm not. As 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 Dallas Cowboys fans, man, that we've been put through absolute torture for 30 years, we expecting results right away. Dave Campbell hired. Damn. Yeah, I don't either. I ain't got high expectations either. I'm looking at the schedule, man, that they got. I think they got the Chiefs on it this year. I think they got Buffalo, if I'm not mistaken. I think they got the Texans again. Do they got the I know they play the Raiders. Some of the teams that I seen it's gonna be another one of them years, man. See, you see, as I mentioned before, the Dallas Cowboys was under a false illusion that Mike McCarthy was doing some hellified coaching because we were playing against scrubs. As soon as the schedule got harder, he got exposed even more. Soon as the Dallas Cowboys played a team worth the damn on offense, Dan Quinn got exposed for what he was doing. See, Dan Quinn right now is just reaping the benefits of a quarterback who don't fold under pressure and an offensive coordinator that it looks that he potentially have learned his lesson in regards to the Kyler Murray experience in Arizona. And a lot of the times you keep it basic, which is what you need. Basic is good. Kellen Moore is keeping it basic. That's why he's there. Kingsbury has kept it basic, right? He like, shit, look, man. Hey, Jaden Daniels, you're going to need to run about 16 times. And then we're going to run the ball with Brian Robinson. I told you I like that boy. Brian Robinson, man. And look at him in the NFC Championship. He ain't no elite running back, but I like him. He tough. He tough. QB and coach. Yeah. You know, having a QB and coaching, you got them too, you're going to the playoffs. You're going to the playoffs. Just for good coaching, you're going to the playoffs, right? Look at the Minnesota Vikings. Man, Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold had a good season year, but we know Sam Darnold ain't shit. And it showed. Look at the Rams. They struggled, but they had a quarterback and coaching. They got there. Had an opportunity to go to the NFC Championship. Look at the Washington Redskins. Look at the Detroit Lions. Right? I don't harp on golf like these other men. Golf has been to a bowl. Golf has been to 2 NFC championships with 2 different teams. Look at some of these teams that made it, man. Does the Dallas Cowboys have that? No. If Schottenheimer can get Dak Prescott to the NFC Championship, Green Bay would love. If Schottenheimer can bring Dak Prescott to the NFC Championship this year, you got me sold. We rocking with you. I'm gonna give you the 4. I'm gonna give you the 4. If he can get that boy to the NFC Championship this year, I'm gonna give you the 4 years. And you show me what you got. I don't give a damn if you went 0-17 for 2 years. I'm gonna give you the 4. I'm gonna give you the 4. If he can get that, if he can get that boy, man, to the NFC Championship. Because that's somebody that tells you, man, that can walk on water and part the Red Sea right there. I don't need him to go to the divisional game. I don't need him to win one playoff game, bro. We didn't see a couple different coaches do that with that boy. And that's a miracle in itself. If you can get to the NFC Championship game and not get him to cost it, whether win or lose, you got me sold. That hey, Edward, that's the only way that he can sell me. Yeah, I know it's asking a lot, and most likely it ain't gonna happen, but that's the only way they can get me sold. Right there. How that boy get to the NFC Championship game. Can he do it? I can't see it. Because even if his coaching wasn't in the way of that, you got a GM and you got a quarterback in the way of that. That's a lot to overcome, including your coaching. It's a lot to overcome, even without including your coaching and saying your coaching was good. Simple, no matter what people may want to go ahead and believe, simple in this league is a good thing. Is Kellen Moore doing some hellified ass motion? No, they're just running down your throat. The Redskins ran the ball 40 times last game. 40. Gave the ball to Saquon 30. And they both in the NFC Championship. Come on, man. In the NFC, you ain't gotta go against Burrow. You ain't got to go against Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen. You're going against Jordan Love. You're going against Jared Goff, Jalen Hurts. Stafford is on his way out. You don't see what the AFC see. So for the Dallas Cowboys to not even sniff an NFC championship is disgusting. But Baker Mayfield was in the playoffs. Come on. That's who was in the playoffs. Baker. A banged up Tampa Bay Bucks team made it to the playoffs. Let that sit on y'all. There ain't nothing that man can tell me that's going to get me to be like, to endorse him. He's got to show me. He got to show me, y'all. There ain't nothing he can tell me for me to rock with this boy. He got to show me. He got to show me that he can coach. When things get sticky, he got to show me that he can help get his team up out of them situations. He got to show me. Talking and all this hype job, that's not it. Jerry and them been talking for too long. He got to show me, y'all. And if he can't show me, knowing that Schottenheimer is probably a yes man, and the way that they've been drafting, this team is, man, the next 5 years, it's going to be ugly for this team. 5. 5, y'all. I get 5 is going to be ugly. Because they already is behind the curve. They're paying Dak. It's looking like they're going to pay number 11. They pay Diggs, who he's fried. Your core is not good. Your core need to be good. Let me give you an example. Look at the core of the Kansas City Chiefs. It's Mahomes, Kelsey, Chris Jones. Everybody else they fill in, whether it be wide receiver, offensive line, running back, defensive end, cornerback. It's all the same. Core. I have a tight end that make plays. I have a D tackle who's a Hall of Famer, or a tight end that's a Hall of Famer. And I have a quarterback that is calm, cool, collected under pressure. Come on. Come on now. Your core. Now let's look at what your core got. You have Dak Prescott, who under pressure is horrible. You can't win with that. Number 11, selfish. Just want to get sacks. But when it come down to playing winning football and playoff football, he disappears because his play style doesn't equate to winning football. His mentality ain't about winning football. You can't win a championship like that, y'all. Trayvon Diggs, selfish. Don't want to tackle. You pay him, he can't stay healthy. Back-to-back years, he done for. This is your core. This is your core. CeeDee Lamb, best on your team. He toughed that shoulder out this year. I'll give him that. But I still want to see if you can handle press. But CeeDee Lamb, I can work with CeeDee Lamb. No. That's it. Now you let me know. Is that a championship core? It's not. It's not, y'all. How the Dallas Cowboys supposed to win a championship like that? How the Dallas Cowboys is building around a core that's really complimentary. Oh my God. Let me say that again, y'all. Let me say that again. How was the Dallas Cowboys building around a core who is really complimentary players? Other than CeeDee Lamb. Because CeeDee Lamb are number one. They building around a core full of complimentary players. And oh, y'all, I'm going to lose it. I ain't got no hair. But damn it, I'm going to pull out the little strings or whatever the case may be. If they sign that boy Osa to 15 mil, I'm going to lose it. And on top of giving Micah a paycheck, I'm going to lose it, y'all. I'm going to lose it. I'm going to lose it. And y'all know, man, a couple years ago, y'all remember? I was rocking with Osa. When Osa has a D tackle next to him, Osa's a solid player. And it has been proven with Hank. We have done film sessions with Osa. But when he don't have a nose next to him, he's done for. And he is not a 3-tech who's a difference maker. Is that somebody I want to give 15 mil to? Heck no. Now, if you want to come back for 2 mil, 3, okay. But 15? Hell no. Hell no. You pay Donovan Wilson. He can't cover worth a damn. Hips stiffer than I don't know what. Hooker, he don't want to tackle. Who was you? Mozzie Smith is your one tech. Come on, bro. Mozzie is your one tech. Tank don't want to be here, and I ain't mad at you, boy. Only way I see Tank here is if he don't want to uproot his family. That's it. Shit, he'll probably go to the Texans then. Cooks, he done for. Ship him out of here. J Hop showed you that no matter what they try to say about him, he's not elite. He's just a solid tight end. But the NFL is a product where tight ends ain't the majority. It's the minority. But the good teams who get good tight end play make the playoffs consistently. Right? Bills, Chiefs, Eagles. And you got the Lions with Laporta. Just to name you a few. Ty Warren. Yep. And he lost his coach. How does he respond? How does Aubrey respond after losing his special teams coach? He got some adversity that he got to fight through. You know? You got to replace your whole coaching staff. So now you're giving somebody like 11 who already struggles in regards to film, right? I don't know what the hell Jesse Holly was talking about that he couldn't say that or whatever that he was talking about. Maybe he not struggling to film. Look, bro, as a defensive lineman, you have to study film. You still have to study formations. You have to study each individual lineman. You have to study what the running back do. You have to study a lot, right? Okay, the center does this with his hand in regards to this case. Oh, okay, the tackle. You have to study all of that. How to beat them. You have to study all of that. So for them to say that film session ain't important in regards to the D line, that's absolutely stupid. Matt Eberflus, I mean, I've seen him do. If I'm not mistaken, he coached Sean Lee, right? You know, he was there coaching with Sean Lee with Eberflus, right? And I believe him with the Colts at that linebacker coach that was solid. I mean, you know, he showed some. I mean, he showed some good things, and I like somebody who who coaches the front seven to be my coordinator. That aggressive, you know. Like D'Amico Ryans, right? D'Amico Ryans was a linebacker and he was a good defensive coordinator, and it got him the job with the Texans, who he's doing a wonderful job with. So I love them people in the front seven when it come down to defensive coordinator, preferably a linebacker. I'm not saying that a safety couldn't do it. There's some good safety coordinators in there, y'all. Somebody that like a corner though, I kind of stay away from them corners, but some safeties, linebackers, man, and all depends about the D. All depends on the D lineman, but preferably a safety or a defensive or a linebacker. But Evilfus, I've seen he's done some good things. Has coached some solid units, but you the defensive coordinator for the Americans team, you got to manage number 11 and Diggs. How he gonna go about that? Uh-huh. Facts. Facts, Dallas fan. Facts. Facts. To be the best. Hold on, let's put that up. To be the best, you have to put in way more than everyone else. That's what Jerry Rice did, and go the extra mile. That is absolutely correct. You got to. And you can see on this team how these individuals is not putting in that extra work. I can tell that they're not putting in that film study. I know that Kendricks is, but Kendricks was a half step. He was 2 steps slow. He couldn't get there. It's crazy, man. I don't know what Dak does. I mean, shit, you a 10-year vet and you still struggling? Like, it's one thing if Dak Prescott was a first, second year player. Like, all right, you still adjusting, you still learning. But bro, this man is a 10-year vet. Come on, G. Come on. Come on. Man, I don't know, y'all. This some crazy stuff, y'all. But anyway, I'm about to wrap it up. I probably might spend my night just looking at some of this film in regards to these college prospects. Start getting my little books and stuff ready so we can get going and get there. I think the last year I started in like February or something. Let's start in January this year. Let's get a week. Let's get a week or two head start. Because usually I started after the Senior Bowl. That's what I did. I started after the Senior Bowl. Shit, but let's do this now. Let's go ahead and get a head start on it, man. Um, but yeah, man. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna be working on. Draft season. We here. Let's do it. Let's do it, y'all. But all right, y'all, man. Till the next time, y'all. We go.